One Piece chapter 1174. A chapter all about parental love. That's really what the chapter was all about. If you can dance it down, that's the message. And we even had the inclusion of the little girl that doesn't have any parents anymore. She's an orphan. And Oda made sure to include her in this and made sure for us to know beforehand, before this chapter even, to have her shown, to have her voice this fact that, okay, yeah, all these other kids, they have parents, but I don't have parents, so it doesn't matter if I die. She voiced this beforehand. But in this chapter it was shown by her, hey, even if you don't have parents and if your parents are not around anymore, if your parents are not around, you still have people you did love you. You're still loved. Yes, parental love is beautiful, and love is a beautiful thing in general. That's what this chapter is telling us. But it's not limited to that. We have a brother here that takes care of his little brother. We have a grandparent that is there for his grandchild. We have a mother, we have a father. And we have a teacher that is there for a student that doesn't have parents anymore. So that is the big message. That is the big one thing in this chapter. Yet I don't know how to spin a 20-minute video out of that. But what I can make a 20-minute video out of is how ginormous Loki really is in his devil fruit form. So we have this one panel in the last panel, and that's another discussion I've seen in the One Piece community, in different channels, different YouTubers, all over the place. Is it the strongest thing in the world? It's parental love, it's love. The love is the strongest thing in the world. Love is strong. Like these parents sacrificing themselves for their children, or brother, or grandchild, or student. Love is the strongest thing in the world. Or is it Loki? Because he's so ginormous and massive. He's the strongest in the world, the strongest thing in the world. It is Loki. Or is it Luffy, who's on the back of Loki? So yeah, which of these is it? It's a good question. And I don't think it is clear. And I do think Oda did this very much on purpose. I don't think it's on accident, because this is just the title of the chapter. It is not stated within the chapters like, oh, look at massive Loki dragon form. He's the strongest in the world. No one says that in the chapter. It's nowhere in the chapter. What is stated though in the chapter is that the parents, out of love, jumped down the cliff with the kids. That the giants jumped down the cliff with the kids instead of letting them be alone, out of love. And it's voiced through the most despicable character in this chapter, in all of Elbow, I guess. Summers. And the way he voices it is like, man, these parents are retarded. YouTube doesn't like that word. These parents are stupid. They are idiots. Why are they doing this? They only had to let their kids die. It would have been only 8 kids, but now it's 8 kids and 8 other giants. Like, that's more death. Why are they so stupid? Only because of love? I don't understand it. He doesn't get it. It is the strongest thing in the world and he doesn't understand it. Summers Summers is stupid. But yeah. So maybe it's love, actually. I think if you think that the love is the strongest thing in the world, that is what Oda meant by it. I think you have a good point there. But you also have a good point when you say it's the giant massive kaiju dragon whose back spikes are literally the size of mountains. Because I gotta remind you, I didn't say that even in my chapter review, but Luffy, on the back of him, he's not in his normal form. That's not Luffy's human form, Gear 5th. That is Luffy's in his giant form. That is Luffy in his form where he took Kaido and jump rope skipped with Kaido. That is Luffy who opened up the top of a building on Egghead Island and grabbed out Kizaru, just holding him in his hand like this. That's how big Luffy is, and he's just sitting on his back, like not even as tall as his head. That's how big my guy is. He is massive. No, is bigger equal stronger? No. Straight up answer, no. In real life, maybe. To a certain point, yes. I think to a lot of certain points. Like, I think I'm 2 meters tall. I think someone who's like 3 meters tall could just beat me up. Just by the virtue of being taller, being bigger. In One Piece, no. Bigger doesn't mean stronger. Big characters might have a higher base level of strength, but it is the manga where we have our main protagonist, who is Luffy. And Luffy, I think, canonically is around 170. Not even 180. In a manga where we have characters that are like 3 meters tall, our main character is like 170, 180. I don't think he is 180. I think it's actually 170-ish. He's one of the more smaller characters. Robin, I think, is canonically taller than Luffy. So, being big doesn't make you instantly strong. But am I supposed to ignore the fact how big Loki is? Like, at a certain point, yes, being bigger makes you stronger. It is even, just thinking about it like that, it is rough to imagine how big Loki actually is. I can't wait until we get actual numbers, because I don't think Oda knows how tall he is, because yes, he drew him, but I don't think Oda actually has numbers figured out. We had the situation with the elephant, Sunisha, where Soul is on his back. And we had the situation where we had to retcon Sunisha's size several times because it didn't add up, didn't make sense. So yeah, even while drawing the manga and while doing that, knowing the size in the numbers, we like to put stuff into numbers. We'd like to say like, this character is 3 meters tall. Putting it in numbers makes it imaginable for us in the real world, being like, okay, I would have to look up like this to Whitebeard. That's how big this character is. Man, this is a massive man. We like to do that. But I don't think Oda, while drawing, knows exactly how big Loki is. He just knows, oh, he big. I want to create an image in the reader's mind of him being massive, and I think he did that very well, very well. He's so massive that I'm like struggling to fathom this. Like, yeah, all these kids and these parents and brothers and grandparents that landed on Loki's back. My guy, those are giants. Our normal person is getting absolutely dwarfed by even those kids. And they're just taking up a little space on Loki's back. Like, he is big. So, power-wise, we already knew Loki was a powerhouse. He killed Harald. Harald was upscaled by fighting Rox. Rox was the strongest pirate in the sea in that moment where Harald fought him. And Harald scaled to that and still got basically one-shot by Loki the moment he ate that devil fruit. Like, Loki was already strong because he was Harald's son. So he was baseline already strong, and then he ate the devil fruit. And that gave him such a power up. The power of the devil fruit is so enormous. And that was hybrid form. That wasn't full form. He didn't transform. Because how would he transform? Think about it. How would Loki fully transform while in the castle? He couldn't. The room would be filled. There wouldn't be space. No, he couldn't do that. Like, if you want to crush yourself and your enemy with you, okay, that is a way to go. Just transform. Like, holy shit. If you ever get to see the transformation, it's like he must be growing, just growing taller. Okay, so now Loki's devil fruit. It wasn't announced. I do think it is the Nidhogg fruit. Like, not just because the devil fruit was not shown to us and it's this dragon thing, worm thing, and the Nidhogg is a dragon worm thing, but because Oda showed us the Nidhogg twice in the chapter. Once before he showed us Loki, and once in a panel with Loki's. Literally in the panel where the full form is revealed to us, Oda chose to also show us the Nidhogg right next to it, as a comparison. That's why I think it is the Nidhogg devil fruit. Now, I looked a tiny bit already into the lore of the Nidhogg. I need to look further into it, because, man, I haven't done my homework yet. But what I looked into is like, it makes sense. The Nidhogg is gnawing at the roots of Yggdrasil. The Nidhogg is here gnawing at the roots of the Yggdrasil tree. Why is he gnawing at these roots? It is the world tree. It is representative of the world. And in one interpretation of what I read, I need to do more research. In one interpretation, it is that the Nidhogg is also trapped by the roots, basically. So he's gnawing at the roots to set himself free and escape out into the world and destroy the world. He's gnawing at the roots of the world tree, wanting to destroy the world. Funny, because Loki is saying that I'm the destroyer of the world. I'm here to bring destruction, not save people. Loki is saying that about himself. Very funny. So yeah, I do think it is the Nidhogg devil fruit. But the second part is the Harley text and the giant mural. And we have this dragon on there, spewing fire at the Hellflame Serpent on the other side. They're spewing fire back and forth, they're fighting. And this dragon, without a shadow of a doubt, if it's the Nidhogg or not, this dragon is Loki's devil fruit. This is the same dragon. He even has the horns, and Now I'm gonna say something. The horns are not the dragon's horns. Those are just Loki's horns. Loki already has horns in his normal giant form. Without his devil fruit, he had those horns already, because he has ancient giant blood. So even down to the detail with the horns, that is the same dragon. So even back in the day, there was an ancient giant who had this devil fruit, who fought the Hellflame Serpent, and the red line is called the blood-soaked serpent by the giants. That is something the giants call the red line. It is the blood-soaked serpent. So there's the theory out there that the red line actually is the body of the Hellflame Serpent. And we have this mural, and we have this dragon fighting the Hellflame Serpent, and the giants calling the red line the blood-soaked serpent. And now confirmed that this devil fruit that Loki has is this dragon. Kinda makes sense now that it would be the body actually, right? I think the theory is just straight up true. Like, how could it not be true? Like, where did this Hellflame Serpent go after the fight? What happened? Like, I think it lost. I think it got killed. Yeah. Lots of things to talk about by just one panel. Like I said, I can't make the entire video about love and family and stuff. Like I could, I guess, but theory-wise, Loki is just having implications. Let's go further with this. How is Gonko / Nika / Shuri summers and Killingham gonna have any chance against Gear 5th, Luffy, all of the Straw Hats, and Loki? Just Gear 5th, Luffy and Loki. Just do those two together already. With just those three fighters, you're fucked. Like, I do think Emu-sama is mighty and powerful. Like, I've been hyping up Emu-sama this entire year already. I do think he is powerful. But this is Emu-sama possessing Gunko's body, and he's like fighting using her body. Now, Gunko's devil fruit is impressive. I must say, it is very cool. I like it a lot. But I don't think it is on Loki's level. I don't think it is on Luffy's level. I don't think Gunko stands a chance in a fight with Luffy alone. Not Luffy and Loki together. So what does that mean for their arc? There's two ways to go with this. Way number one is, all of these fights are absolute sweeps. Emu-sama, the big bad of the world government, gets absolutely demolished. His God's Knights get absolutely swept on the floor with it. And that's how the arc ends. And we are leaving Elbaf for something else. That doesn't sound like interesting, no? That doesn't sound like intense, no? So how do we create tension? Well, one power that Emu has, one hack power, is Domi Reversi. And now Emu already Domi Reversi giants, Emu Domi Reversi rocks. And there is the theory of it only works on your home island. Like, people have the theory that Domi Reversi, being Latin meaning return to home, meaning it only works on your home island actually. So for Luffy it would be Dawn Island. for example. So we have a very powerful giant here, and we're showing off his power right now. Now imagine if end of the next chapter, or end of like in 3 chapters, like we're starting to win fights everywhere. And then all of a sudden, Emo's like, okay, I've had it, Domi Reversi. And he uses it on Loki. And now we have to fight Loki. Like, not kill Loki, don't get me wrong. We've seen it with Rox and Roger and Garb. But you have to knock him out. So building up Loki right now of how powerful he is, if you ask me, very likely to just be a build-up for our villain. To be like, oh, that's very powerful. No, don't mind if I do. I take this power. It's mine now. Yeah, I do think this is bound to happen, because otherwise I don't see how the God's Knight put up a fight. That is the only way I see the swinging in favor of Emo. Like Domi Reversi Yarul, Domi Reversi Zoro even. I think I wouldn't put Domi Reversi Zoro at the level I put Domi Reversi Loki right now. As of right now, I would put Zoro below Loki in power scaling. Just sheer power. Man, he looks impressive. I could be wrong on this. Yeah, I could be absolutely wrong, and Zoro is actually way stronger than I think he is. But Loki looks powerful. So I do think we have to see it. We have to see demon form Loki. We have to see Domi Reversi Loki and Luffy going up against that as the big finale of the arc. So it doesn't have to happen right away now, next chapter. That would be the finale of the arc. Like Luffy beating Loki and having to beat down Loki. And that would be hardcore. Because after that, Loki would be liberated, would be freed again. Like Domi Reversi, I guess. Reversi. So that is my headcanon for where we go from here and what we do with that. Pretty much. I think that's the way to go forward. How to make the arc make sense, and unless we have other characters join. Like the other possibility would be like Shamrock comes back, but then that doesn't make sense, because Shamrock left in the first place because there's stuff going on in Marisha he has to take care of there. It doesn't make sense for him to come back. It doesn't make sense for us to get like the Gorosei again. Emo summons the 5 Elder Stars again. Doesn't make sense because there's stuff going on at Marisha. They probably have to take care of that right now. So yeah. Really, it's the only realistic way, without adding other parts from outside of the world in here. Just taking what we have right now on the island, taking the powers, the abilities, the personas we have right here, and make it so. And make Domi get Reversi on Loki. Like, this is one point where I was talking about as well. Does being huge make you powerful? Yeah, yes, I guess it does. But it also makes you an easy target, no? An easy target for Domi Reversi. Like, being this massive, oh my god, you are a prime target for Emo. You're just there being like, here, come and get me. Come. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye.